The Sufis have a wonderful story. Two men prayed and went their separate ways. One gathered wealth and power. People said he was famous, but there was no peace in him. The other saw the hearts of men glowing as lamps, even in the darkness of their own secret fears. He too had found richness and power, and his wealth, his power, was love. When simply, kindly, tenderly, he touched his fellow men with all the richness and power of this love, the light within grew clear and bright with courage and peace. Both men one day stood before the golden door, through which all men must pass to enter the greater life beyond. The angel in the soul of each asked, "And what do you bring with you? What have you to give?" You see, God asks, "What have you to bring with you? What have you to give?" God goes on giving and giving. And finally, in the last day, before you enter into the innermost shrine, he asks, "And now, what have you brought for me? What is your gift?" The one who was famous recounted his exploits. Why? There was no end to the people he knew and the places he'd been. The things he had done, the things he had accumulated, both physical and mental. But the angel answered, "These things are not acceptable. These things that you did for yourself. I see no love in them." And the famous one sank outside the golden door. For the first time in his life, he could actually see the whole futility of his existence. It was almost like a dream that had passed his empty hands. If you are too full of things, one day or another, you will see your hands are empty. It was dream stuff that you were carrying in your hands. They have always been empty. You were just dreaming that something is there because you were afraid of emptiness. You had protected something. You had believed in something. You had never looked really deep. And the famous one sank outside the golden door and wept. He could realize now he had been too busy to be kind. He had been too occupied to love, too engaged in himself, in futile things, to be able to understand what was essential in his life, what was deeply important. Then the angel said to the other, "And what have you to bring? What have you to give?" And he answered, "No one knows me. They call me the wanderer, the dreamer. I have only a little light in my heart, and that which I have shared with the souls of man." The angel said, "O blessed one, you have the greatest gift of all. It is love. Always and always there is enough to spare. Please enter." Then said the wanderer, "But first, please let me give the extra measure to my brother, that we may both walk through the door together." The angel fell silent, and in that moment a great light shone around the simple wanderer like a radiant mantle, enveloping both herself, himself, and his friend. The angel, she was pleased, and the golden door was opened wide, and the three walked through